Speaking to reporters in Ottawa on Wednesday morning, Ivan Zinger said corrections needs to improve mental health supports for Indigenous prisoners by putting more resources into community-run healing lodges, a program he said has been historically underutilized.
Only about 2% of Indigenous prisoners are held in Section 81 healing lodges. The vacancy has, there's a little bit more occupancies in some of those healing lodges. But to date, we haven't seen, the service hasn't come up with concrete increases in healing lodge beds.
Senator Kim Pate has long advocated for the rights of Indigenous people in the justice system. She agreed corrections often misclassifies Indigenous prisoners, making them ineligible for lower security healing lodges.
The classification system has been identified by the Canadian Human Rights Commission as racist, as discriminatory on the basis of race, sex, and disability, people with mental health issues, racialized people, and women. And so disproportionately Indigenous women and men, but particularly women, are more likely to be classified as higher security.
Zinger's report makes a number of findings, including discrimination continues to hamper access of Indigenous inmates to mental health supports, access to culturally based mental health services is lacking, and continuity of mental health care for Indigenous people upon release is poor. The report also recommends more mental health support services be provided at the community level rather than within correctional institutions. Pate said it is not surprising corrections has been unsuccessful since they have not provided any funding to support the request.
They've basically been saying to me and to many others, including the correctional investigator, oh, no service wants to contract with us. Well, you can imagine oversubscribed health services being approached by Correctional Service of Canada and them saying, you know, would you like to take these folks?
After 8 years in the job, Zinger is retiring 2 years before his current term expires. He said one of the reasons for his decision is too little movement from the government on addressing the gross overrepresentation of Indigenous people in the prison system.
Indigenous prisoners that are serving time in Canadian penitentiaries are more likely to be classified as maximum security prisoners. They're more likely to serve a greater proportion of their sentence in custody than non-Indigenous people. They're more likely to attempt suicide, self-harm, to be transferred involuntarily outside their communities.
In a press release, Public Safety Minister Gary Andasangri says he continues to work closely with the Office of the Correctional Investigator, and this includes addressing the overrepresentation of Indigenous people in the federal corrections system. Fraser Needham, APTN National News, Ottawa.